for some of the most desperate people on earth to get here any other way. That's why the watery grave is there. If there were legal ways to get here, they'd use them. But some vile people have shut off those ways to curry favour with their fans. Bodger said arrangements with the African country will be uncapped. Uncapped. So he said the quiet part out loud. He is prepared to spend an unlimited amount of your money to appeal to a small number of voters that could keep him in power forever. No amount is too much. I mean, after all, it's not his money, is it? He said the partnership will be fully compliant with our international legal obligations, but acknowledged that the government was bracing for court challenges. If this country, says Bodger, is seen as a soft touch for illegal migration by some of our partners, it is precisely because we have such a formidable army of politically motivated lawyers who for years have made it their business to thwart removals and frustrate the government, he said. By which he means uphold the law. I mean, it's the sort of language that dictators use about lawyers and judges, activists, enemies of the people. Is anybody frightened yet? Priti Patel insisted that she was confident that she would be able to fend off moves to thwart the plans in courts, those pesky thwarters. The Home Secretary said our political opponents just sort of opine a view and condemn everything the government does. Well, only the things the government does that are ripe for condemning, which is, let's see, everything. The Law Society, meanwhile, are freaking out. They dismissed Johnson's criticism of lawyers. Its president said it is particularly disappointing, this week of all weeks, that the government is repeating misleading suggestions that legal challenges are politically motivated. Legal challenges establish if the government is abiding by its own laws. If the government wishes to avoid losing court cases, it should act within the law of the land.
Correct.
Huh. Have you ever considered acting within the laws of the land, Bodger?
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
He lied. Sanj texts, I see Fishy and his family moved out of Downing Street due to the couple next door throwing all-night parties and fighting like school kids. Yeah, turn that racket down. Those business meetings are keeping me up all night. Kath texts, you're like Zfod tonight with your numbers. What, this bloke?
And one, two.
That guy. Is Rwanda 4,000 or 6,000 miles away? You've just said both. Are you playing higher or lower? Happy chocolate day, says Kath. 4,000, 6,000 don't really make no never mind, does it? Blooming miles away it is. All the way over there. Extra points for being able to point to it on a map. Can anybody point to it on a map?
No.
I bet people in Rwanda can't point to it on a map. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC. It's 11:30. The news headlines with Zora Solomon.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Nick Abbott.
Thank you for holding. Your call is important to us.
Here is an important call in Ellesmere. Michael.
Oh, hi, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Michael.
I was kind of thinking that the Tories, they were a gift to human traffickers. They've basically built a business model for them. And now they kind of do the semantics like, oh, people smugglers, we need to stop people smugglers.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between people smugglers and human traffickers. People smugglers do it like secretly, and human traffickers do it openly. They're the Tories. And when they say, oh, how do we get rid of human traffickers? We become human traffickers. That's like completely crazy.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly what's just happened, yeah.
Yeah, and Boris Johnson, first, like he started off his speech, he started it off it was about compassion, the compassion of a wave machine.
Sure.
People are drowning, and like Patel was kind of thinking about how to stop people landing on the shore, turn them in the middle,
push them back out to
of
sea,
the channel,
let them
put
drown.
up some waves. Yeah, and they say we're so compassionate, so that's not washing. That doesn't wash. Totally not. And with Ukraine, the people like Homes for Ukraine, that's actually a little bit dodgy because young women were getting messages from creeps, you know. You do something for me, I do something for you. And, there's lots of good people. But
I'm not sure that there was very much of that. I mean, there's bound to be some of it because, people.
Yeah, but, they could have, waived the visa like everyone else instead of having this small chance that, there'll be few people with nefarious reasons.
Michael, they're not solving the problem. They're not solving the problem that they are apparently addressing. They're solving the problem, which is that they might not get elected at the next general election. That's what this is all about. Pleasing their fans, just enough of them to get them in again.
Yeah, I guess so. And there's loads of smears and they're preparing ground for, the battle. Trans people better buckle up because it's going to be brutal.
Trans people? Oh, you mean this whole woke thing? Oh, God, yeah. Well, that's pretty much what it's come down to because they would love to have run the next election campaign on Brexit. Brexit. Oh, Brexit. So wonderful. Except nobody can think of a single positive thing to say about it, including the people that have delivered it to us, to the point that his smugness has outsourced the finding the benefits of Brexit to the readers of The Sun. Can you believe that?
I don't know anything.
Exactly. So they can't even mention the B word. Never mind about crowing about its successes. They can't even talk about it. They're going to hope that you forget that it even existed, Brexit. And they can't really go on how great they've made the NHS. I mean, you can't get an appointment at all with anyone, ever. So they haven't got that. And those are the two most important things to people ordinarily, the NHS and Brexit, at least, for the last sort of 5 years or so. So they can't run on either of those things. So they're kind of running out. What else have they got? Oh, yeah, the war on woke. And the message went round, and the newspapers, their sort of client press, the offshore billionaire press barons, they chimed right along with them, almost as though every single person is on the same email list. And they all went woke at the same time. Oh, woke this and woke that and snowflakes and it's going to be on and on and on like that. So that's what they are running on. They're running on woke, and I challenge somebody who uses that word a lot to actually define it. I bet you can't. Other than just everybody that doesn't think, talk, walk and squawk exactly like you. So woke is the thing. Cruelty to foreigners, regardless of its actual efficacy, they're not trying to solve a problem. They're just trying to get elected again. And they don't have to appeal to everybody. They just have to appeal to the people that put them in power last time. If they can just get them to vote for them again, problem solved. If they can get the minority of the people that gave them a majority of the seats, then there is no problem anymore. And that's what they think that they want to hear the most. Cruelty to foreigners, this performative cruelty. And also, I bet you that we'll be subject to billions and billions of adverts purporting to be from, grassroots campaigns, from people that are concerned about issues just like you. They're going to be spraying them all over social media. Those three things. I bet you. And I also bet you that it will get them in again. 0345 6060 973. Anyone want to take that bet? Place your bets. Bet nah. Cornwall. Hello, Malcolm.
Hi, Nick. How are you doing, mate?
Good, thanks.
Nick, do you want to know how to stop the evil gang of people traffickers from helping people cross the channel?
Yes, bring them over
You vote Labour in the next general election, my
on
friend.
a ferry.
You vote Labour in the next general election.
How will
That's
that
you stop the
work?
evil gang. Because the evil gang of people traffickers will be gone.
How?
Come on, Nick. Wake up, my friend. Hey, listen. When
Malcolm,
someone
you keep coming and going. Are you using your phone correctly? Did you read the instructions that came with it? Put the speaker part next to
Is that better, Nick? I have my headphones in.
bit of your mouth that speaks.
Is that better?
It's a little bit better, yeah. So how would
Okay.
the Labour Party solve that problem?
Well, they certainly wouldn't be sending people to Rwanda, Nick.
No.
And whatever they do, they wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be sending them to a third country, I don't think.
Well, it makes precious little sense, really. It doesn't make. It's not going to stop people from wanting to get here. It costs way more than just sorting them out while they're still here. Plus, it doesn't make any sense on any level. It just is absolutely nuts. Apart from, it pleases their fans.
Well, you see the people he's sending out to both defend him and to justify the policy, and they can barely keep a straight face. And
Well,
I just don't
I'm
get.
not sure about that. I think that they are admirably serious. They seem to be all in, like they don't have any doubts, which is remarkable, really. What kind of a person doesn't have any doubts about this regime?
No, Nick, I think that Boris Johnson knows this isn't going anywhere. He knows the courts are going to stop him. It's just, and they've said, even to the point, they've said the first flights will be going in the next couple of 3 weeks. Well, What's happening in the next couple of 3 weeks? It's the May elections, Nick.
Correct.
It's electioneering.
Well, I don't know if you've been listening to this show, Malcolm, but I've been saying that for an hour and a quarter, an hour and three quarters, or however long it is. Yeah.
And Maya Angelou famously said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. And Boris Johnson, he was saying before Trump was a twinkle in his father, the devil's eye, when he was telling someone in an interview, all you do is you just throw out so much chaff after chaff after chaff.
Yeah, well,
people,
I know. He said that already. He said you just chuck distraction bombs out the window, kind of like Donald Trump. Just imagine, in any given situation, what would Donald Trump do, and you'll find that that's what the Conservative Party do.
Donald Trump is not a nice person.
It's always, what would Donald Trump do? I've seen that video. Boris Johnson says, you just to throw out, I think he used that word, didn't he? Chaff. And then they get so confused, and I step nimbly through while they're running around trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, which is precisely what's happening. Yeah, he told us who he is. Believe him. I do. That's the only thing I believe him about. Thanks, Malcolm. 0345 6060 973. Chris texts, my face has swollen up. His face, not my face. My face has swollen up tonight. Tooth abscess, says Chris. Need antibiotics. Phoned GP, recorded message, won't be back till Tuesday. Ring 111. Rang 111, given me a dentist's number, will be open Tuesday. All I need is a prescription for antibiotics. I don't know whether that's a complaint or he's praising the efficiency of the NHS. Won't be back till Tuesday. Ring 111, give me a dentist number which will be open on Tuesday. Oh, I see. Right. So your GP won't be back till Tuesday. And they've given you a dentist number who also won't be back till Tuesday. All I need's a prescription for antibiotics, says Chris.
Stop whining.
Everybody needs like doctor, yeah, I can't find my television remote. I need antibiotics. Those people. You won't get anywhere near your GP on Tuesday. Are you kidding? You'll be able to ring them on Tuesday if you call between the hours of 8:30 and 8:35. Other than that, they're shut due to high demand. That's what mine says. If you haven't called, I think that they open the lines for an hour, something like that, in the morning. And if you don't call in that hour, you don't even get the phone picked up on you. We have closed for your convenience because of high demand for our service. We appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Colin says, I'd like to know, would you like to meet Boris? No. And if so, what 3 questions would you put to him that could be broadcast? Would one be about his new friend, the China chicken? I bet that's broken in pieces by now. Yeah, that'll be question number 1. Can you actually produce that chicken in one piece? And I bet the answer's
No.
Yeah. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott.
Right, so what are we doing?
Gibbon, we are doing a radio show, but it does remind me that I do a podcast with Carol McGiffin.
Yeah.
In which the delightful Carol McGiffin and I try to solve people's problems while laughing our faces off. If you want us to have a bash at your issue, send it to the following address: nickandcarol@global.com. nickandcarol @global.com.
Oh, right, yeah.
And ask for the podcast by name on an internet near you. What's your problem with Nick and Carol? There's over 100 of them up there, and if you wish to be amused, it will be right up your alley. We do laugh a lot when we're doing it, and I think you'll be amused too. If you've got Global Player, then it's right there on it, in it. Along with the 3 podcasts that I do, the other 2, the Nick Abbott Habit, and this show gets stuck up the internet as a podcast called Nick Abbott The Whole Show. But the one I'm talking about at the moment is What's Your Problem with Nick and Carol?
Oh, right, yeah.
Ask for it by name on an internet near you. Colin texts, oh no, that's the would you like to meet Boris Johnson, and if so, what 3 questions would you like to put to him? I'll throw that open to you. What 3 questions would you like? That'll be a texter. You don't have to come up with 3. Just 1 would do. Questions that you would like to put to Bodger Johnson. Deborah texts, I would rather live in Rwanda than in London. Deborah, I don't mean this to sound insulting, but you're an idiot. London is one of the best, if not the best city in the world. I mean, it's endlessly fascinating. There's no end of things to delight. An entire lifetime living in London, you wouldn't get through them all. And you'd rather live in Rwanda. Why is that then? Because you're not remotely interested in art, culture, parks, people. Well, I'll tell you what, Deborah, I'd rather you lived in Rwanda than in London. How does that sound? Let's have... who's been waiting the longest? Abingdon. Hello, Dean.
Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you, Nick?
Great, mate.
What I'd like to say, Nick, for the last, I don't know, couple of years or more, they've been banging on about we're an ageing population and they don't know where the pensions are going to come from in the future, etc., etc.
Yes.
Yet they're going to send all these people to Rwanda that could pay taxes here. You know what I mean?
No.
They could work and pay taxes here, yet they're sending them to Rwanda.
It seems bizarre that we have so many parts of our economy that are desperate for people, that we're throwing away people that are desperate for work. It doesn't make any sense. Other than it's about winning the next general election.
And that's all it's about, isn't it?
I reckon.
That, and the council election's coming up.
Yeah, well, we can't talk about that, but I think it's the general election. They don't care about the council elections. That's neither here nor there. The general election, that's the one. That's the one to aim at. And that's what they're aiming at. It's just, as long as they keep on side, most of the people that voted for them last time, and most of the people that voted for him last time did so because they bought into that, will have you surrounded by fewer foreigners. So if they can just press that home again, with sort of like an asterisk on it saying, I know we didn't deliver last time around, but vote for us again. And we promise this time that we really, really will deliver. Because, that would be believable. Does that fully answer your questions, Dean?
Yes, it does. Thank you, Nick.
Oh, right. There's a surprise. 0345 6060 973. Jacob texts, fabricant's hair looks like Watsits. What, cheesy Watsits? It doesn't. It looks like pasta. It does look like somebody's boiled up a plate of pasta, put it in a colander, and then tipped it up on top of his head. What could it possibly look like wet, do you think? And what does it eat? Robert emails, it's now 7.9 billion people. 7.9 billion, not 6 billion. I keep telling you this, but you keep mentioning the old figures. 7.9 billion. What, people on Earth? I thought it was 6 billion. One moment, please, while I check. Not going to go a single moment further. Population of world. 7.9 billion. There you are, you see. Completely correct in every respect. Wow, how did that happen? How did it go from 6 billion people to 7.9 billion people?
Disgusting.
Don't tell me. Is Cheltenham. Hello, Sam.
Hello, is that me? This is Sam.
Yes, Sam.
Oh, hi. I just want to say briefly that no one's mentioned or seems to be aware of the plan that the Nazis had in the 30s to send all of Germany's and then Europe's Jews to Madagascar. The Madagascar plan. Then they got a different plan after that. But
yes.
I've been so kind of hit by the similarity. And the thing is that so many things about this government seem similar to things that happened in the middle of the last century, not in moral equivalence. I'm not saying they're Nazis.
No.
But in principle,
the playbook.
Yeah.
It's the Trump thing. He's really good at it as well.
He sort of he updated that. Goebbels wrote it. Trump sort of updated it.
You did. Did you read that? There was I think it was not Variety. The other one, that sort of glossy American magazine, Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair did a thing on Trump. Like a long time before he was the president, and his wife said, what he has as bedtime reading is Adolf Hitler's speeches, which is where he got all of his best ideas. Make America Great Again is the English translation of Make Germany Great Again, which is Adolf Hitler's big thing.
Well, it really is. And I mean, the playbook of scapegoats and sort of repetitive lying, it kind of goes without saying. I'm not going to stay on the line too long because I get a bit overwhelmed after about a minute. But
imagine how I feel.
Honestly, Madagascar, Rwanda, I can't believe it. What is happening?
Well, that's an excellent question, Sam. What is happening? And that will be the topic from now until the end of time. All right.
You.
Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Yes, the similarities are alarming. I'm not saying Boris Johnson is Hitler. I'm just saying that he and Hitler and Trump and every other wannabe despot on earth. It's a pretty good plan that's been set out. You just follow the plan. The plan is to identify others, make people frightened of an influx of others. That's pretty much all you need. Talk about patriotism a lot. Surround yourself with flags. Claim that people that act against your interests are enemies of the people. That lawyers are being political, that they're activist. Identify a certain group of people and turn the country against them. Tell the rest of the country that the reason that they're not doing very well is because of those people over there. It's not luck, and it's not a lack of your effort, and it's not the people above you on the ladder pushing you down. It's the people below you on the ladder pulling you down. Now, if you can persuade just enough people, which is about 40%, if you can persuade 40% that any of that's true, then you've got a pretty good chance of running the country, no matter which country it is that we're talking about. Donald Trump did it. Great success. He only just by the tiniest squeak, was turfed out by Sleepy Joe. And I wouldn't be remotely surprised if he did not get back in again. In fact, I'd kind of be surprised if he didn't. And it works wherever a politician is shameless enough to try it on. It's working pretty well for Marine Le Pen in France. Works for Bolsonaro. Wherever you try it, there's just enough people, usually, to go along and think, yeah, that's right. I'm not doing very well. My life is not as delightful as it could be. Not because I lack effort or skills or education or I haven't tried enough or I just haven't been lucky. None of that. It's those people. Those ones over there. They're the problem. And if you can externalise your problem, sort of externalise your locus of control, then bingo! You win an election. I do believe that that's what it is all about. And I may be wrong, and you may correct me at any time. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Anyone's welcome. Any one of the 7.9 billion people on Earth.
Correct.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbot.
Well, the whole world's gone crazy.
Okay, first of all, there's a seal called spearmint. What's that about? And second, the seal called spearmint eats donuts and sandwiches. Can you find donuts in the wild?
No.
I didn't think so, no. Donuts and sandwiches. People, do not give seals donuts and sandwiches. Give them a fish supper. That's what you want. Lou text, you're wrong about Michael Fabricant's hair. It's actually shredded wheat. No, it's not. It's pasta. It's pasta with a glue sauce. At least it looks like glue.
You don't need to put all of that product in your hair. You just don't.
You just don't. 0345 6060 973. Stains. Ooh. Yvonne.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Yvonne.
Hi, Nick. You make me laugh every night when I'm laying in bed and I listen to you. You just give me such joy.
Thanks, Yvonne.
I've got three things about Boris. I think the biggest B word is not Brexit, it's Bojo. We need to get rid of him. He's an absolute disgrace. Mm-hmm. And the three questions I would like to ask about Boris.
Yes.
Does he own a hairbrush?
Mm-hmm.
Does he know his jacket size? And does he know how many children he's got?
How many children? No.
No. Does he own a hairbrush or a comb?
Yes, but he doesn't actually use them.
No, I know. Does he know his jacket size?
He does, but his tailor doesn't.
I know. He's an absolute disgrace, and I think we keep on about Brexit, mm-hmm. But it's all got to do with Bojo, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Keep angry, Yvonne.
I will do.
All right. Excellent work.
Bojo's got to go.
All right. Thanks a lot. 0345 6060 973. You got to go, Bodge. Any comments?
I can't comment on that.
Can't comment on that. Blah, 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 blah. That act is getting so tired. Just saying. Kate emails, I'm so poor now, I've been forced to go back to a manual toothbrush. A manual toothbrush. You remember those?
No.
No, me either. When you had to actually manually brush your teeth by hand, if you can believe that. Joseph texts, Johnson isn't serious about this plan to send people to Rwanda. He just wants to create another left-right argument, another 52-48 coming up. Yeah, I do believe I've said that about 1,000 times on this show. It's got nothing to do with beating the criminal gangs, because he could do that at a stroke. He could just provide a safe passage for the people in Calais who are trying to get here. That would do it instantly. That would remove the criminal gang's business model, and they'd be out of business straight away. So it's not that, because he could do that, piece of cake, wouldn't cost anything. He's not even really interested in processing people in Rwanda. He just wants to say that that's what he's going to do in order for his fans to go, yes, finally, sticking it to the foreigners. By which method they will feel better about their own lives. Seems weird, but, there's just enough people to feel like that would get them a win in the next general election. Some of the details are great. Plans to send asylum seekers to Rwanda from the UK are anticipated to initially see people taken to a hostel in the capital city of Rwanda for processing. You know what the hostel's called? Hope House. Top-level gaslighting there. You're being sent thousands of miles away to Hope House.
Oh, no.
I wonder if they actually searched that out. Dr. Peter William Walsh, senior researcher at the Migration Observatory in Oxford, said it would face all kinds of logistical challenges. He said, Australia's offshore experiment was beset by all kinds of problems, with people unable to access healthcare, as well as high rates of suicide and abuse. And then there's the financial side to it, he said. The Australian system was thought to be 800 times more expensive to house them offshore than in local centres. I'll say that number again. It was 800 times more expensive.
What?
800. He said it cost, get ready, 1 billion Australian dollars to house fewer than 300 people.
What?
$1 billion for 300 people. Wow. He said there are so many questions about this plan and a lot of scepticism about whether it will actually come to pass, given all the challenges it will face. It doesn't have to come to pass. I mean, it would suit the Kipper Tories just as well to have their little scheme thwarted by snowflakes, and then they can blame the tree-hugging socialist bleeding heart meddlers. Rwanda, by the way, best known in the West for the ethnic genocide that left up to 800,000 people dead. Just 800,000 people, that's all. Amnesty International says there are concerns over enforced disappearances, allegations of torture, and excessive use of force. But Boris Johnson said it was one of the safest countries in the world. Liar! And he's not known as someone who does not tell the truth, eh?
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
It's understood that channel migrants will be processed in the UK, and officials will decide whether they are a genuine asylum seeker. Let's assume that the answer is no.
Yes.
If they're deemed to be economic migrants, they will then be sent to Rwanda, where schemes will be put in place to help them build a new life in Rwanda, from where they will escape and try to get here again. Britain will pay the costs of their resettlement. I mean, does any of this make sense apart from to thrill the regime's fans? The Refugee Council charity was among those to urge an immediate rethink of the plan. Chief Executive Enver Solomon said it would not work and would cost the taxpayer around £1.4 billion a year as part of the whole asylum system. $1.4 billion a year. Cheap, if it means the Tories cling on to power, though. Abbot.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, $1.4 billion. I mean, it's not like they're paying for it. Labour and Johnson's Tory critics claimed it was an expensive move to switch attention away from the Partygate row, which continues to embarrass Number 10. You know, in the same way that this government embarrasses the British people that have some integrity and pride left. At a press conference today, Priti Patel said the agreement with Rwanda fully complies with all international and national law. Any bets on how many international and national laws it actually breaks? Over to you, Zaphod.
And one.
No.
Two.
No.
6 million.
6 million laws broken. Yeah, it's about that. Priti Patel said the deal is in keeping with our vision for global Britain that harnesses the potential for new relationships and stimulates investments and jobs in partner countries. I mean, that is actually quite funny. Good one, Priti Patel. That's their vision for global Britain. Closing the border, shutting the curtains, hiding under the bed sheets, while sending the desperate and needy 4,000 miles away to another country. It fair makes you proud to be British, no?
No.
The Home Secretary said, working together, the United Kingdom and Rwanda will help make the immigration system fairer, ensure that people are safe, and enjoy new opportunities to flourish. Or in other words, gaslight, gaslight, gaslight. We're helping them to get working, she said. Hey, Priti Patel, would you like to buy the letter N?
No.
Apparently not. She said, first and foremost, Rwanda is a safe and secure country with the respect for the rule of law. Really? Really? According to Human Rights Watch, arbitrary detention, ill treatment and torture in official and unofficial detention facilities is commonplace in Rwanda, and fair trial standards are routinely flouted in many sensitive political cases in which security-related charges are often used to prosecute prominent government critics. Arbitrary detention and mistreatment of children, sex workers and petty vendors occurs widely. Rwanda, best known in the West for the ethnic genocide that left up to 800,000 dead. Amnesty International says there are still concerns over enforced disappearances, allegations of torture and excessive use of force. Or, as Priti Patel would say, an excellent human rights record. What are these people like? I mean, really? Can they hear themselves? 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @lbc. Hlandrindod. Did I get that right, John? Not even close.
No, it's Jan at Hlandrindod Wells.
Like I said.
Yeah. Your narrative has more or less taken away most of my argument because it's only 99% right. The 1% you missed out in was I had the misfortune to be there with the UN.
Where?
Rwanda.
Oh, yeah.
And everything you just said and everything Priti Patel and the rest of her regime have said to you is exactly as you have described.
When were you in Rwanda?
Oh, in 82,
Okay.
83 and 85.
And what were you doing there?
I was with the UN. I was in the parachute regiment. And I would never, ever, ever want to see that particular type of politics again. It was frightening. The place is a scary place. It's of no use whatsoever to anyone from Europe, only to hide their wealth, which is probably a lot to do with it. But in saying that, why would anyone in their right mind suggest the centre of Africa to send people who are already traumatised?
Well, to curry favour with their fans.
Absolutely, yes. You've got it spot on. But is there a bottom line somewhere?
A bottom line? How do you mean?
Financially.
Oh, well, I would...
well,
I would always recommend following the money.
Yeah, well, let's be fair. The 120 million quid that was suggested, first off, if you look at the frontage of their government, that won't even get past them. That will disappear in the ether.
Oh yeah, well, no doubt. Yeah. Well, they said 120. They said first of all, he said 120 million. Then he said it would be uncapped, and then experts predict it'll be 1.4 billion this year and the following year and the year after that, and every year forever.
Well, you can probably say that, but it probably will be more treble that. You can treble that.
Well, we're just plucking numbers out of the air now.
Well, they are. They're plucking numbers out of the air to suggest we're doing something about it. And, of course, you're going to get Middle England and probably the rest of the idiots in the north who put them in there might actually take that on board. Right. But what you have to understand is they are ruthless.
Oh, in the pursuit of power?
Absolutely.
Totally.
You said the magic word, clinging by the skin to power. You've only got to look at every conversation that man has on TV. You look at his eyes, and every time he's looking down. Now, to be fair, I've seen scary people in my time, and I've come across scary people. He scares me very much, but the one that really scares me is Patel.
Yeah.
That is definitely a vile politician.
Don't sit on the fence, John. Tell us what you think. Good man. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Another Pretty Patel fan. He loves you, Pretty. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and this week, Monday night at 10, Nick Abbott, LBC.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Everything is going extremely well.
You bet your life it is. 0345 6060 973. Martin emails, we in Scotland have had enough of this corruption circus in London. We rejected Brexit, rejected the Tories, rejected their nonsense. We've had enough, says Martin. In capital letters with an exclamation mark, like he's yelling at me. Let's have Congleton. David.
Hi, Nick. Yeah, right. A couple of things, if I may. Like, we keep hearing, like, the over migrant workers, they can't get them now to work, picking the tomatoes and whatever you want.
Yeah.
They want. But what they don't tell you is a lot of these growers is that the people, when they come, they've got big caravans and one thing or another what they stay in, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously, they can't work. They're still earning the money. They've got no overheads because the power, everything is provided where they are. And folk from outside cannot work for that money.
Well, you mean folk who live here?
Yeah, well, right, I'll give you a classic. Not a million miles from me, there's a big tomato grower, right?
Yes.
And he has migrant workers picking the tomatoes,
right.
But they live on site.
Yes.
Right. Now then, so say they work, well, they will be, right, minimum wage. You've got people here that say...
That desperately want to pick tomatoes.
Not really, no.
No, not
no,
really.
But they can't afford to do it, can they? Because of the overheads that you've got here with your poll tax, and now you're ripped off with your electric, your gas,
fuel
like
bill,
you've just been.
all of that.
Yeah, and the whole issue, and they can't do it, can they?
Well, it's not something that you can actually do if you're living here, really, because you can't rely on it. It's not all year round. It's just for like a month or so. Yes, but also you see is why they're not coming now, because they're making as much money back home now. That's when Polish wagon drivers have disappeared back home on one thing or another. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now then, the other one is before I go, right?
No, but how do you? I'm not entirely sure how you feel about that issue about foreign workers coming here and picking our fruit.
You're right. No. what I'm saying, no, what it is you always get the farmers, you know, when they come on telling one thing or another, moaning that they can't get the migrant workers to come and pick.
Whinging,
and
whining and moaning, yeah.
Yeah, well, they always do.
Right.
And they can't get people from this country to do it. It's
Right. That's the problem. People don't want to do it because we are doing better jobs.
Well, yes, yeah, and also even the ones that haven't got good jobs, if they work in radio and one thing or another, they can't afford it.
Right.
No,
so
right.
they're doing better paid jobs. They don't require you being bent over in a field all day long, doing backbreaking work.
No, not like you used to do at one time, yeah. Things have all changed. Now then, the other thing is, before I go, is, right, over the Brexit thing, why are we getting fish from Russia when the trawlers here are throwing hundreds of tons back over the side?
We're getting fish from Russia?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want that. What kind of fish are we getting? What kind of fish are we getting from Russia?
You're getting haddock and you're getting cod.
Russian haddock?
Right, it's been on the telly. And on the radio saying right that the fish and chip shops are having to put the price up because of getting it from over there. Right. And my point is why in the first place were we importing fish from Russia when they're throwing hundreds of tons back over the side here? It doesn't make sense, does it?
Well, we don't eat the fish that you catch around these waters. We don't like it.
No, we get cod and you get plaice.
Yeah, but that's not around these waters. Around these waters you got mackerel, and we don't like mackerel.
No, you do. Well, what end of the world have you ever been fishing? What do they get up round Scotland then?
It's what they get around Scotland is around these shores. Most of what we catch is mackerel. That's our biggest thing, mackerel. That's what we do here.
No, it is not.
It absolutely is, David. Look it up. I'm not going to have a fish conversation with you if you haven't looked it up. Do your homework, man. Mackerel is the biggest thing we catch around these parts, and we don't like it. So we have to sell it. And best probably to sell it to our nearest neighbours, which are in Europe. But we're, having a pretend fight with them at the moment because it suits the regime. And so that's out. Never mind. We don't catch cod and haddock and stuff around these parts. It's like deep sea fishing, that is, blooming miles away. Russia? Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Like Danish, yes. Finnish, Greenland, Iceland, that kind of thing. That's where the good stuff comes from. You know, the fish that we like that doesn't actually taste of anything. We mostly prefer things that don't taste of anything in this country. Martin emails. Oh no, I've read that. There's people in Scotland have had enough. Up to here, up to their eyeballs with it. They've had it. Gwenny tweets, the original plan was to send refugees to Glasgow, but subjecting them to the weather there was considered inhumane. Yeah, so it's off to Rwanda for you. Stephen tweets, if we were really serious about the people traffickers, we would bolster the National Crime Agency, the Border Force, and improve cooperation with our international partners and law enforcement agencies, such as Europol and Interpol. Yeah, but they're not serious. I mean, they don't even really make much of a fist at pretending that they're serious about the trafficker gangs. It's almost like by the way, yeah, we're really worried about all those evil people that are making a ton of money. Yeah, the people traffickers. Yeah, that's our main concern. Right. Dale says, thank goodness you are working Monday. A bit of overtime to cover that fuel bill. I hate Patel more than Johnson. It's not a contest. Well, actually, you know what it is? Who do you hate the least from the current regime? Let's have... I can't... maybe I'll have to take you after the break. There's too little time. You'll be on and gone in a moment. So I'm doing you a favour, you people that are waiting. You can thank me later. No, wait. I've changed my mind. You can thank me now.
Thank you.
Mary tweets, is Rishi Sunak Obi-Wan Kenobi, as I suspected? No. He's more like, Jar Jar Bings. That's exactly who that is. Oh my God, Rishi Sunak is Jar Jar Binks. Thanks for that, Mary. I wouldn't have come up with that otherwise. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're joking. No, Fishy Sunak, Jar Jar Binks. I think you'll find that's right.
Correct.
Worst Star Wars character ever.
Affirmative.
Diana texts, Bodger will not be worried about the courts turning his policy around. He has the formidable human rights lawyer Dominic Raab to slay those pesky judges. Good one, Diana. Angular tetchy humanoid Dominic Deckchair Raab. Is that who you're talking about? Joan says, who is responsible for enforcing the ministerial code? I think it's you-know-who.
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. I followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
I think that it's him, isn't it? If somebody has fallen foul of the ministerial code, then the person that decides on whether they are guilty or not is the chief the chief fouler of the ministerial code. That's actually not the right way to put it, but I got myself into a mental cul-de-sac there for a moment there. Only just managed to reverse my way out. That's right, Bodger. Wheels on the car go round and round. Getting all excited now. No, we can't go to Peppa Pig Farm.
Peppa Pig World. Peppa Pig World it has
Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is the right answer. What a good Bodger. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC. It's 12:30. The news headlines with Zora Sullivan.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Nick Abbott.
And I can't stand him.
0345 6060 973. Martin tweets, a 4-day run of this show. Do we get a bonus Silly Sunday episode? I'm thinking, I don't know, is the answer to that question. Let's have Twickenham. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Yes, Dave.
What I'd like to know is, wouldn't it be a good idea to tax the House of Lords on the money they get every day? They get £323 a day, tax-free.
Tax-free.
Yeah.
Nice work if you can get it, but you can't, so don't ask.
Yeah. Because I'm a pensioner, and I've got a small pension, and I have to pay tax on that, and yet they get that money for nothing.
Yeah, it's worse than that. They also get their food and drink subsidised by you.
Yeah. And half the time they were asleep in there anyway.
Plus the expenses, and half the time they were asleep in there anyway. That's absolutely right, yeah. Well, 99% of the time, even if they're there, they're not there. Where are they? If you ever see the coverage of the House of Lords debates, there's nobody ever there. Where are they?
You know, if they was taxed like the average working person, then half the bills wouldn't have to go up like they do.
Dave, it's the best club in the world. It's the only club who pays its members to be a member of that club. Usually you have to pay to be a member of a club. This club pays you, and the food and drink is subsidised, and you get to decide on a policy that might affect you personally, and it gives you permission to literally and figuratively lord it over the rest of the country. The little people, not leprechauns.
And the second one is, I'd like a second house as well, where it's all paid for.
Yeah,
like
wouldn't that be nice?
And MPs get.
Yeah, everything is paid for. They get,
Yeah.
I think, is it £4,000 to pay their electricity and gas bill, and the rest, and they get to employ their wives, husbands, significant other, girlfriends, whatever, on a massive amount of our money just to keep it all in the family, and they get £250,000 worth of expenses on top, and.
And they get a £2,000 pay rise, knowing that everything's gone up £2,000 for gas and electric.
That's right. And then they have the nerve to say, oh, well, that pay rise has got nothing to do with me, as though they wouldn't have awarded themselves at least that much money if they had still had the power to do that. Now, they offshored that responsibility to an organisation that's given them more money, really, than they could possibly have hoped to have got away with awarding to themselves. Funny how that worked out for them.
Yeah.
What a racket, eh, Dave?
Yeah, I wish I was in it. But
yeah, quite. Exactly. Yeah. All right, thanks a lot. 0345 6060 973. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Phil texts, the rules were wrong and Johnson had set an example by breaking them. The rules... Oh, okay. So he actually did right by doing wrong. The rules were wrong and Johnson set an example by breaking them.
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
Followed the ministerial guidance at all times. Altex, Johnson's use of the term humanely in transporting refugees to Rwanda is usually used in the context of factory animals. That's right. Humanely transporting refugees to Rwanda, usually used in the context of factory animals. This reflects the contempt that Johnson and Patel feel towards refugees and, says Al, to us. Aylesbury. Casper.
Hello, Nick.
Casper.
Hello, Nick.
Yes, Casper.
I just wanted to say that I am an immigrant living in UK for last 10 years, and I was following both Polish and UK politics.
Yeah.
And for all the time, I thought that UK is next level, it's more sophisticated, but actually it's not. It's the same dodgy schemes which are happening in both countries, the same nepotism, and yeah, I could just go on with that. It's something that blows my mind.
Your mind is blown.
Yowza.
Yeah. Yeah, my mind too. And it's only taken His Imperial Bodgeness 2 years to turn what used to be a fairly well-ordered country into this catastrophic clown show that we see before us.
Yes, exactly. And the worst thing is they don't take any responsibility for their actions. They can push whatever they want in the parliament and nothing happens.
Like infants... Nothing is ever their fault. It's always somebody else who has done it to them, or they didn't know what they were doing, or it was like that when I got here. It's like we're being run by Bart Simpson.
Yeah. I also want to agree on what you said at the beginning, like half an hour ago, that you just need to find a group of people to blame, and basically...
Bingo.
Those are the people who are ruining the country, not us.
That's right.
Yeah. We are doing our best.
It works wherever it's tried. The thing is, usually governments are run by people who aren't shamefaced enough, or who aren't shameless enough, rather, to try it. But if you do try it, then you'll probably win.
Yep.
Oh, well.
I have nothing to add.
Yeah, right. But, oh, well, never mind. It's just life. Thanks a lot, Casper. 0345 6060 973. Angela texts, I thought this country was patriotic. Why aren't they cheering Team UK Invictus? They must have Meghan, or they just have Meghan and not the team. Wait, what? Angela texts, I thought this country was patriotic. Why aren't they cheering Team UK Invictus? They just have Meghan and not the team. I've no idea what that means. But I think you're probably completely correct in every respect, Angela. 0345 6060 973. Croydon, Matthew.
Oh, Nick, hello.
Matthew.
Yes. A really funny show. You're very sarcastic.
Who,
and
me?
It's yeah. and it's just fantastic. But the thing is, you've really made the penny drop for me, and I'm gutted that I found out what's going on, because you've just told me, and it's like, oh no, are you serious? Because I only started following politics when COVID hit.
Yeah.
I always was ignorant of it, and that was the way I lived. And now it's like, oh no, now I understand a bit. It's like awful. I knew Boris was pretty terrible with the Radcliffe scenario, and it's like, oh no, is this really what it is then?
Yeah.
My dad's, he's always been Tory, and my dad's a really lovely man, and he reads the Mail, and he's not racist or horrible in any way at all. So I've sort of like, oh yes, I think that's right. And now I've just found out, no, it's not, is it? So, what vote Labour? I mean, what can we do? Because I don't want to protest, but this Rwanda thing is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I seriously doubt that anything is going to happen with this Rwanda thing. And I don't believe that they believe it's going to happen either. And telling their fans that it's all totally legal and above board is just setting them up for further anger, because you've got to keep your fans angry, because that is the emotion to tap, anger.
This is the most disappointing thing. This is where the penny's dropped. It's like, oh my God, is that all? Is that what's going on? Because that's despicable. What's happening? That's how I feel. I'm a bit lost. Now the penny's dropped. I'm like, oh no, I didn't realise.
Yeah,
it was like that.
I know. Now that the clouds have cleared,
yeah,
you're thinking, I'd quite like to go back to not knowing about anything anymore. I feel that emotion strongly.
I WhatsApped my mate saying, "Oh, I wish I could just be like I used to be before I knew anything when I was ignorant. Because life was a little bit happier. I didn't realise, but now it's like, what? I can really get angry about stuff now, even more than I always was. It's like, oh no, that doesn't work either."
Matthew, if you go back to not knowing anything about anything, then you too could be a radio talk show host. Can you start
Nick,
on Monday?
Your show's brilliant.
Right, thanks a lot,
really
Matthew.
Funny.
Cheers, mate. 0345 6060 973. Yeah, it is a bit disappointing. I mean, I spent most of my life not really being bothered about politics either, because I thought it was dull boring. And then I started to pay attention, and I realised that it's actually not boring, it's infuriating. How are they getting away with it, I thought? How are they continuing to get away with it, every passing minute of every passing day? It seems to get worse and worse. And they are subject to zero consequences, nil. And it's just maddening. You think, how is this possible? Like, just take yourself out of this country for a moment and just concentrate on the one man. That squinty-eyed golem that's threatening the world in Moscow, or wherever it is he's holed up at the moment. One man, one person is threatening 7.9, not even 6 billion, come to find out. 7.9 billion people is going to blow us all up. But you can't question him about that. Not even raise a finger of objection in the air, because, that would be rude. So you just must let him do whatever he wants. This is insane. The whole world's gone completely insane. Somebody should do something about it. Maxine says, the Tory policy on transporting single male immigrants is the most abhorrent policy out of many I've come across. I'm ashamed to be British, says Maxine. It doesn't make any sense on any level. Single male immigrants who want to work are the exact demographic that we're in want of. We have daffodils that didn't get picked. I know that seems superficial, but not if you're a daffodil seller, it's not. We've got fruit rotting on trees. We've got vegetables going off in the ground because they ain't got the people to pick them. Now, we don't want to do those jobs. And there's not a great pool of the unwashed just lying about, smoking joints, looking at daytime television all day. That doesn't exist. We've got very high employment rates in this country and a massive number of want ads in the papers and in shop windows and in restaurants and cafes and you name it. It's because we yelled at foreign workers to get out of our country for about 5 years, and then they did. Very unpatriotic. Much to our amazement, all of that Project Fear stuff about we needing them more than they need us turned out to be true, turned out to be Project Fact. And so many industries haven't got the staff anymore. And we are taking people who are desperate to work and sending them thousands of miles away. The whole world's gone insane. And they're doing it, I mean, unless you can find another reason. Because none of it actually makes any sense. I mean, why send them so far away, other than it's just performative cruelty? Why send them to Rwanda? I mean, where did they get that from, other than it's just performative cruelty? I mean, Mordor they couldn't find, so it's Rwanda. Centre of mass death, disappearances and torture. It sounds like a great place. Let's send them there. That'll thrill the fans, they thought. I wonder if they sit around dreaming this stuff up and just guffawing over drinks. Oh, God, this will be another thing they get fined for. Is there anything you've ever done by the rules, Bodger?
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times. At all times,
yeah. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nica@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's at LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Come on, we're running late.
0345 6060 973. I do have some advice for that chap who had a tooth abscess. Someone has messaged in some information. One moment, please. First, Snodland. Andrew.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sorry, I'm just at work, so it's right. What it is, mate, Nick, sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, basically... Oh. Sorry, yeah, I'm at work, so that won't happen again. This immigration policy from... sorry, mate.
What's the whistle? Were you a football referee? What do you do for a living?
Operator.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I'm listening to the radio while I'm waiting. So
okay.
Okay.
The machine to do its business.
I'm one of these menials, you know. Yeah. But son of an immigrant, never destined to be anything more than just alive, I suppose.
Right.
You know. But what I'm trying to get at is, mate, what it is, this policy, it is a joke. It is. I think someone used the term abhorrent. I think that is definitely an apt way of explaining it. But what I'd sent you a text, but basically what I was trying to say is this: with everything going on at the moment, it kind of smacks of like the 70s almost. I'm in my 50s, so I wasn't party to the Rivers of Blood speech, but I wouldn't be surprised if one reared its head or a new version of it anytime soon. You know, growing up as a child, I'm a 70s child. We had the skinheads and the National Front.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, on a lighter note, but still offensive, the black and white minstrels, Chalky and Jim Davidson. And don't get me wrong, I laughed at all that. I thought it was great. It was part of growing up.
Wheel Tappers and Shunters Social Club, all of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, you know, the thing is, what worries me, I find it actually quite frightening, is that the longer this kind of behaviour goes unchecked, that it could lead to hate crime. It can lead to discrimination in the workplace. Honestly, I don't think. I'm not saying I think more deeply than anybody else, but I'm talking based on my lived experience, right? So I know what can be or what can happen if people feel they're empowered or even emboldened, however you want to say it, to speak their mind and to, I worked for quite a large logistics company, and when we had all the Brexit stuff, the amount of people that left because they felt so uneasy, so uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, this is what I just said. I just said that we yelled at people for 5 years, to get out of our country, and then they did.
Right. They did. And all of that, in my opinion, again, I don't know how well people's memories are, but I believe personally, because I was living at Folkestone at the time when we first had the big thing with Mr. Farage's first political party when he broke away from the government.
Yeah,
I don't even want to credit them by using their name, right? But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of this, in my opinion, was a knee-jerk reaction to him gaining notoriety.
I tell you what, it seems like there's been a reverse takeover of the Conservative Party by UKIP.
Yeah, definitely.
They've just said they just looked at UKIP's manifesto and the Conservatives and thought, yeah, that'll do.
That'll do. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just cut and paste. That'll do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as well, look, people can dress it up however they want. Yeah, part of it is probably a smokescreen to take some of the stench away from Mr. Johnson, okay, and the rest of his merry men and women.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, I'll give you a little example. Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't have even picked up on this. Question time the other day. You had Boris Johnson, you had Rishi Sunak talking, and Boris Johnson was making like almost faces to somebody.
No, you don't mean question time. You mean Prime Minister's questions.
Prime Minister's questions. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, the most weird face.
Did you not? Oh, so you saw what I saw then?
He looks like he's made out of. He looks like he is his spitting image doll.
Right, but what I'm getting at, did you see? It was almost his body language was ridiculing his Chancellor.
Right. Well, presumably,
if you go back and you look at that bit of footage, you'll see exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to me, it just proves that there is not only a double. I won't say a double standard, but it kind of cements my belief in the fact that there is a hard right undertone within our British government at the moment to then turn around and say you're going to send people to Rwanda. Now, unless I'm mistaken, forget Mr. Johnson saying that it's one of the safest countries in the world. With respect, it's one of the most dangerous countries in the world.
Yeah, he's gaslighting.
Is that not the same country where we had years and years of fighting between the Tutsis and the Hutus, or am I getting mixed up with someone else?
800,000 dead people later.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really sad place to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Don't believe a word of it, Andrew. It's not what it purports to be. It's just red meat for the fans. And if you throw it far enough to the right, then you're also going to get those people that don't dally out quite that far. You're going to get them too. So it doesn't really matter how far to the right you throw it, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Little bit. He said that there was a stench to you, Bodger.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I believe that's probably right. All right, thanks a lot, Andrew. 0345 6060 973. Before I forget, T tweets to that chap with the bad tooth. He says, tell the caller to get some grapefruit seed extract at a chemist or herbal place and take that till Tuesday. Contraindications exist. Always read the label, says T. Grapefruit seed extract. Well, I don't know anything about that. I would contact a medical professional. Oh, no, that's right, you already have. They said they're not until Tuesday. That's great. Oh, apart from sending them 4,000 miles away, or wherever that is, to a place that does torture for a living, as though that wasn't enough, Bodger has brought out the big guns, literally. Bodge has ordered the Royal Navy to police the English Channel to stop small boats. He ordered warships to take over from the border force. Can you imagine the frenzied excitement in the average kipper's mind when they hear that? Kill 'em all! The thing is, they're not going to do that. They're not going to blast them out of the water because they're not monsters in search of the public's vote. They're the Navy. And what they'll be doing, at vast expense, is to make a bigger target ship for the dinghy people to aim at, confident that they'll get picked out of the water. But, you know, it sounds good. Warships, gunboats, fire at will. And then, in order to upset the Liberals, Bodger actually hailed the UK as... Did you hear him say this? After everything that you know about what the plan is, the little scheme, he actually said that the UK is a beacon of openness. That really is top-level trolling there, Bodge.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I mean, that really is excellent work there. Can you do anything else?
I can't comment on that.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. Grapefruit seed extract, you say? I think I might try some of that myself. For whatever ails you, read the label. 034... I don't want to give the number out because that's me done. I'll be back tonight at 10 o'clock reading all the texts and messages, of which there are a boatload, that I didn't get around to tonight. Ian Payne will delight you at 4 o'clock, but first, it's Clyde Ball.
Nick, thank you, and we'll continue this conversation after a week in which the Prime Minister paid a Partygate fine. Does the war in Ukraine and now this Rwandan immigration scheme, does that mean Boris Johnson has moved on and has nothing to worry about now? Also, missiles hit Kyiv after a Russian warship is sunk. We'll have the latest on Ukraine and take a look at what the Russian strategy might now be. And after Elon Musk's apparent bid to buy the whole of Twitter, we look at what that could mean, whether it matters, and Will Guyatt joins me to explain his belief that it's all a massive joke. Plus, we'll take a look at the Saturday front pages. Do join in. The number to call 0345 6060 973.
On your